Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Sorry that my hair is very messy this afternoon. It's about ready to rain where I'm at, but I'm returning to you for this album review that you have definitely been waiting for Lacuna Coil's Sleepless Empire that I never got a chance to review this past Friday due to the fact that I was just very busy with work and all that, and trying to get other videos pushed out, and I was getting a little unmotivated to do videos, so the motivation was gone for a little bit. But I'm glad I'm returning to you for this, because I hope you enjoyed this album review this early afternoon, and let's dive right into it. For the 11 songs I listened to for a 47-minute album, let's dive right into it. So The Siege is a really good song. I really enjoyed Christina's uh, vocals, and her screaming vocals are outstanding in this. Her high-pitched singing is pretty outstanding for sure. I really enjoyed that aspect about it. So this track definitely rocked for sure. Her scream vocals were the best part about this track, so 5 out of 5 for The Siege. Great track. Instrumentally, it's amazing, and this track kicked ass. Then comes Oxygen, which was one of the singles. I've only listened to 2 singles off this record, so I'm glad I didn't listen to too much of it, because I didn't want to go into all the singles and then find out there's only 6 songs for me to be hyped up about. But other than that, Oxygen is a strong track. Her shouting vocals at the beginning of the song are pretty good, and just the chorus is pretty memorable. So I wasn't sure if this was going to grow on me when I first listened to it, but it did. As time went on, as time passed, it grew on me. Once this album came out, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a pretty strong song for how it sounds. I just maybe critiqued it a little too much. But 5 out of 5 is well deserved for Oxygen. Scarecrow is a strong track too. Really enjoyed this one. It's a 5 out of 5 for sure. I just like how Christina's vocals sound in this track, and just execution-wise, this track pulled it off for what it was going for. So, really enjoyed the execution of this song, and just her regular vocals and screaming vocals from time to time are pretty strong. So 5 out of 5. Gravity was the last single I listened to before this record came out, and it is a good song for sure. I like her regular vocals in this track. Christina's vocals sound pretty outstanding, so she really pulls it off with her range, her vocal range, and just execution wise, the instrumentation is amazing in this song. So 5 out of 5. I Wish You Were Dead is a pretty good song in its own way, but not one of my favorites. It's just the melody kind of throws me off, and how Christina's singing it from time to time. It's good, but the melody kind of is a little quirky and not my cup of tea. But it's not terrible of a track. It plays it safe. The scream vocals are pretty outstanding for it, so this is a 4.75 out of 5. Hosting the Shadow, featuring Randy Blight of Lamb of God. Strong track for sure. I love the screaming vocals in this track. It did very well, and was one of my favorite songs. And it was a single, but I didn't necessarily listen to it as a single. I wanted to listen to it as a regular song, and I'm glad I did, and I was very impressed, because the outcome and the execution of this track was pretty well done. So 5 out of 5. In Nomine Patris, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's I guess a Catholic kind of speaking term and all that for religion. So It's not a terrible track. It is really strong. I like how the execution is for this track. So this is a 5 out of 5. Christina's vocals sound amazing in this track, and this track really pulled it off for what it was going for. So, great song, 5 out of 5. Then we get to Sleepless Empire, the title track, which is quite an amazing song. Really enjoyed this one too. Had a good time listening to this one. So this is a 5 out of 5 as well. Christina's vocals sound amazing in this track, and just the way it turned out this track. Sorry, it's raining right now where I'm at. Finally raining. I'm just like, okay. But other than that, I think this track, Sleepless Empire, the title track, was quite an outstanding track for sure. So, 5 out of 5. Then we get to Sleep Paralysis. This track's pretty good in its own way, but I don't know if it's something I'm gonna get used to be honest. It is almost 5.5 minutes of a song, but it is strong in its own way. It tries to pull it off for what it's going for. So I'd give this a 4.75 out of 5. I don't necessarily hate this track, but there's some execution flaws with the melody structure and how it sounds overall. So it's hit or miss. Then we get to In the Meantime, featuring Ash Costello from New Year's Day. It is a pretty strong track for how it sounds. I really dig how Ash Costello sings in the background with Christina. It does pretty well for what it goes for, so this is a good 5 out of 5 too. It is the second to last track before you get to the closing track of this record. So really enjoyed this one. The screaming vocals were outstanding for this, and the instrumentation is amazing. So Never Dawn is the closing track to the record. Great closing track to end this album. It started off great, ended great. Had a few hiccups during the time of the listen, but nothing to the point where I hate this record. But other than that, Never Dawn is a strong track for how it sounds, and it's deserving of a 5 out of 5. For almost 5 minutes of a song, you're in for a pretty good listen. So, I really enjoyed Christina's vocals in this, and the screaming vocals from her are pretty good too, as well. So, 5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think Lacuna Coil Sleepless Empire was a really good album. One of my favorite albums so far this year. One of them. It wasn't my particular best album, but it is going to be on the best albums of 2025. It's better than the Ginger Duel album, I can tell you that much. But if I were to give Lacuna Coil Sleepless Empire a score, I'm feeling a strong 9.5 out of 10. It's a really good album. Definitely rocks for sure. I definitely enjoyed this record. I would be coming back to this a lot. From time to time. I mean, there's some moments where the pacing gets a little doled out, but it's nothing to the point where I hate this album. It's a really strong record. It's probably everyone's favorite metal record so far of this past Friday's releases for February 14th. But other than that, yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for Lacuna Coil, Sleepless Empire, their new studio album that they just dropped this past Friday, February 14th. I hope you guys enjoyed this album review this early afternoon, and thank you guys for watching.